down this way until we're safe.
Charlie Company Second Lieutenant William Walker will navigate through the swamp with a 105-pound rucksack on his back.
Hello Internet, Lieutenant Ellis here with the 299 Scouts, Dangerous Skills for Dangerous Places. Today I'm going to be going over how to size and set up your ruck for training. This is my training ruck. This is the ruck that I kind of just pack and I leave pack so that I can just throw it on. I can go out for a quick 6-mile ruck, get that exercise in. Today we're just going to be covering how to size it and make sure that it's sized for your back, for your torso. I recommend you get a pair of pliers or your multi-tool. It's going to just help with some of the webbing in the straps. Now, you might have like a mystery ranch pack, or I've got a really awesome Kifaru ruck. I highly recommend that you really start getting to know the ins and outs of the standard Molly 2 standard issue rucksack that the Army gives you. Because if you go to a lot of Army schools, you don't have a choice of bringing your own high-speed ruck. You'll have to use the schoolhouse rucksack. Who knows how the previous guy set it up. So even if your ruck right now fits perfectly, you really need to know how to take it apart and get in there and start messing with the shoulder straps. Alright, the first thing I want you to notice is that the curved portion of the waist belt is on the bottom. I know some people set them up where the curved portion is on the top and it curves around. It probably really doesn't matter, but if you were to look at the manual, it shows the curved portion on the bottom. Now, I'll get into this later, but I highly recommend you use this waist belt. Now I know when I went to basic training, we had the old Alice packs, and the drill sergeants told us you're not going to need it. We just taped it around to the back so it stayed out of the way. And a lot of people still kind of subscribe to that kind of mentality. I'm going to tell you, as your weight gets heavier and heavier and heavier, you're going to need this waist belt to give you a little bit of support and stability. Or if you're running with your ruck, it'll keep it from shifting around too much on your body. What the goal that we're having is that we're going to be adjusting this back pad and these shoulder straps and their position on your back, higher, lower, or depending on your torso size. So unfortunately there's no way to just go in here and shift this out. We've got to take and rotate this pack off of the frame, and so I've been kind of avoiding doing this video because honestly it's a bit of a pain in the ass. You've got to go in here and you've got to use these webbing toggles and push them out, get them clear of the frame. Some of them are a little more difficult, like this one here, which is attached to the bottom. And that's where something like this multi-tool comes in handy sometimes.
5 hours later.
Alright, and like magic, my rucksack is empty, so it's a lot easier to handle. I thought I could get away with trying to do this without taking my rucksack, emptying it, but these straps here, this strap right here. And just like that, my pack rotates away from my frame. So now where do I want this shoulder strap set up? So I'm 5'7", so I have mine actually set on the lowest slot that they can go. And this is another point when this multi-tool comes in handy. This one's already set up for me. I thought about redoing it, like screwing it up, moving it around, but happy with the way it is. So yeah, you can move these and you can just move them up or down on these slots. Usually use just these 2 or 3 slots here and move between those 3. Now it's only a matter of inches, a matter of like 6 inches here, but 6 inches as far as your torso is concerned is a big deal. So thread this through, and you want this tight. You don't want it shifting around on you all that much. So that's why we brought this multi-tool. Really dig in there, get it nice and tight. And then down here, if you had any slack, you would tighten it down and cinch it down with this Y yoke. But don't be concerned about all this work. Once you have it set up properly for you, you don't have to touch it. And that's why I never really have to get in here and touch it. But it's important to know, because maybe you just suck at rucking and you don't know why. Or maybe you have to fall in on a schoolhouse rucksack. Your ruck might be improperly sized for your torso. And the only way you can really know is you get in here and you start messing with it. You see how it feels and you take it on a ruck. Alright, so my pack is all packed up again, all cinched up nice and tight. I just want to go over some quick theory of why I went through all that trouble to move these shoulder straps down. So, you ever seen like a civilian pack? They have these things up here, they're called lifter straps. Now, if I keep these lifter straps all the way cinched down tight, and I wore my rucksack, and I'll show this, all this weight's going to be on my shoulder. It's just going to be hanging off of my shoulders like that. Likewise, if I left them all the way loose, you know, where they don't really provide any support, also it's going to be on my shoulders. But if I ruck up and I have these set up properly, the line of force comes down from the lifter strap, comes across, and it comes across your front of your chest, across your pec. And then now I have actually the weight's not on my shoulders. If I shift my shoulders a little bit, I'll have actually a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of gap in here. So the weights, these shoulder straps, if you're using the waist belt, these shoulder straps just hold the weight against your back. They're not supporting the weight as much. Alright, so time to ruck up. First thing I do is I loosen up my lifter straps. I make sure that my shoulder straps are loose as well. And whether I'm doing this on the ground or off the table, first thing I start with is the waist belt. And I want to make sure that this tight, sits on my hips. Next step is I make sure that this ruck is high up on my shoulders, and I cinch it down the shoulder straps. And now as I come forward, so you notice how my frame is up high. As I pull these lift straps, load lifters here, I can really feel the tension in there. I can feel the line of force holding from the frame down across my pec and both sides. So now watch this. The weight is supported by my hips. If I shift my shoulder a little bit, I've got all this space here that's taking pressure off of my shoulders. So it's not going to feel like I'm wearing nothing, but it feels as comfortable as you can get this load. Alright, so we showed you how to size your ruck, how to get some of that weight off your shoulders and distribute it more across your hip belt and your load lifters. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll be going over how I pack my race ruck. And this is my ruck that I'm just going to do, say, that 12 miles in 3 hours, and I'm just going to be basically running the entire time. I'm not going to be pulling out uniforms, not going to be pulling out ammo. I just need everything nice, compact, and tight so I can run with the most efficiency. I'll also be shooting a video where I pack my patrol ruck, and my patrol ruck is for sustained ops, and those are the ones that I'm actually operating out of, pulling out ammo, pulling out claymores, whatever I need to do. So yeah, until then, that's been the 299 Scouts, dangerous skills for dangerous places. So keep training.